the Specna Arms Edge series of guns. Today, I'm going to answer the question that I hear all the time. Is Specna Arms any good? And the answer is yes. Okay, that's it, bye. Okay, if I'm going to give a proper answer, we've got to look at a few things. So, you get so much bang for your buck with a Specna Arms, especially with this one. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how much I paid for this. So you're going to hear all this amazing and not so amazing things about it. And then, right at the end, I'm going to tell you how much I paid for one of these. And you tell me if it's worth it. So, in the box, probably don't get most of this. What you do get, obviously, standard receiver. This one is the SA-E4. I can't keep up with the bloody model numbers because there's so many models out there. You'll get ones with different rails, you'll get ones with different stocks, you'll get ones with different barrel lengths. You'll always get the exact same receiver, which is a good thing, and I'll show you why in a minute. This one, however, came as, you know, your basic bitch M4, complete with quad rail at the front, flip up sight. Came with, well, you know what? Why don't I show you? So I went with the two-tone version, as it were, not the Yukara unregistered version. What I mean is, like, it was tan and black. So ordinarily you get a standard crane stock, which is fairly nice. I've seen a lot worse crane stocks. Nice rubberized back as well. You got some nice space in there for all sorts of batteries, and a proper QD sling mount, which is really nice. So plus there already. Also in the box included, you get a fairly basic but very practical and very functional grip for the front. I've used this on different guns actually because it is quite comfortable, texturized as well, and it's got a little compartment inside. Now they say, oh, you can use that compartment to keep tools and batteries, but do you trust that? I wouldn't. This is the grip that you get with it, which is fairly comfortable. Nice large grip on there. It's textured, but its little party piece is as standard. I don't know if I can do this. As standard, there you go. It's got a little trapdoor, so you've got easy access to any sort of motor. You don't see that every day, so that's pretty handy. I did swap this one out because I was going for a particular look, but absolutely nothing wrong with that pistol grip. You get a standard birdcage flash hider, and then you get the most hideous rear sight I've ever seen in my life, but practical again, and look at that, spring loaded. So, you know, okay. Specna Arms. The best thing that you get though, you get all those accessories, which is, you know, okay. You don't just get one mid cap. You get two mid caps as standard with a Specna Arms Edge, which is pretty amazing. If I was a starter, I would bloody love these. Now, you hear on the internet that these magazines are rubbish, and I'm here to tell you, not so bad actually. I've heard of loads of stories of the springs not being the proper tension, so they don't feed the BBs. Okay, that might be true for some people. That they break. Okay, that might be true for some people, but this has not been my experience with these. They've been rather good. The only thing that I don't like about them is there is a texture on it, which is all very nice, and oh, it's the Specna Arms logo. That's very nice, but it is not grippy. It is not grippy at all. They will slip and slide all over the place if you get them wet. So bear that in mind. But as a value proposition, well done, Specna Arms. Mwah. Okay, this is mine, of course. So as I said, I went for a specific kind of look. I went for the UK Special Forces, what do they call it? The L19-1A, what, something like that? I don't know. Okay, it's an M4, but don't tell the purists that. I'm not a purist, as you can see. It's not exactly what it should be. All I wanted is like the profile, so from a distance it looks right, but when you look into it, there's a few things that are a little bit different, which I couldn't be bothered to change, so I'll just keep them as they are. I added a replica ACOG scope.
All T-zone shoot motherfuckers have scopes.
More on that in a minute, you know, just for looks. So I've got a kill flash on there just for the looks. The furniture at the front is, and the accessories is all how I like it. It works really well. I've got a 3-prong flash hider because it looks cool and no other reason. But let me tell you about the front here. This is my setup. I never ever really cared for these angled foregrips until I actually used one properly. You can see that, there you go. So it fits really well and works really well using this empty rail section as a thumb rest as you go on there like that. Now of course I've added rail covers, you know, just to make it more comfortable and look nicer, but that works so great when I'm pointing and shooting. And then of course you've got the replica Night Evolution, I think is I'm not sure, but it's basically a pressure pad that works great with these new Pro flashlights. I've probably got about 4 of these on a few different replicas, and they are really good and they work well with these, so yep, that's banging. Further back I've got a sling loop here, again because I had a bit of empty space. It fits in there quite nicely, and let's be honest, the sling loops that come with these standard M4s, they're rubbish. I just took it off, couldn't be dealing with that, so that's that. Now I added this scope. Ooh, it looks very fancy, doesn't it? It really does. I like it, but word of warning, don't cheap out on your optics. It's a magnified optic. It looks the part. The sight picture is okay, but can you see that? How off center is that little rear aperture? I mean, come on now. That's just embarrassing. Every time I pick this up, I notice that and it makes me wince. But, you know, pet peeves. Further back, I replaced the crane stock with this older version. Again, I can't remember the model number, but it's okay. I'm not a purist. I'm too lazy for all that. And then I added the recoil pad on the back just because it looks cool. Oh, do you see that? Yeah, why is that silver? Well, when I first got that on, the movement was horrific. So, like most of you, I'm sure, I put a bit of tape on this buffer tube, and I do not apologize for it. You'd be amazed how many pieces of real military gear is held together by tape. A lot of it. Okay. And then, of course, to keep in line with the look, that's the grip. I've got the standard A2 grip. Yeah, you know, it does. A lot of people don't like that little notch there, but I don't mind it at all. So, right, moving on to the receiver of the Specna Arms Edge. Nice metal receiver. I'm pretty sure it's cast metal. I don't think it's anything too fancy, but it's got a fairly decent finish, and after quite a long bit of use, it has held up quite well. Minor scratches on it here and there, but we can forgive that, you know, that's not too bad. One thing I do like about Specna Arms is, and their licensing, they've got the license for Rock River Arms, which is an American AR company, so they tell me. I've never heard of them. But they put this big holographic sticker, and it reminds me of the anti-piracy stickers from Disney VHS.
An authentic Disney video, either by the camera or the new Mickey Mouse hologram on the spine of the video cover, or by the logo hologram on the cassette.
Only 90s kids will understand. Love the nostalgia. Next to it, you've got this random sticker here, which is, I think it's supposed to replicate stickers that you usually find on like issued AR rifles from the US military, where they'd have like the cage number, part serial number, all that kind of stuff. It's cool. It's alright, but you'd think if they're going to put a sticker on it, then at least make it straight. Come on, Specna, what's going on? One thing that they didn't cut costs on though was the, can you see that? Yeah. That is engraved so well into the receiver. Hasn't worn out, hasn't looked tacky or anything like that. It is pin sharp, looks amazing, and I think they should be. And you've got another one on there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but just there, you've got some more engravings that really add to it. It's really quite nice. Another good thing about the receiver is I'm a stickler for selector switches. I like them to be nice and clicky and tactile, and I'm happy to say after a lot of use that it still is. Unlike some replicas I've got, that feels really, really nice. Right, one thing I don't like about this receiver is, ta-da! Look, I mean, look at this horrible, horrible metal that they've used. I've seen better metals out of Pepsi cans, honestly. Now you might think, oh, it looks dirty. Yeah, that's how I got it, with those stains on it. And of course, it's supposed to replicate a real AR bolt, but you can barely see where it's imprinted. It's just one flat piece of like really crappy metal, which is not fun. If you pull it back though, you've got the hop unit, which is a rotary, very nice. Very plasticky, but you know, it does the job. Moving on to the performance, I've told outwardly, it's nice. I quite like it. It feels really solid outwardly. Internally, advertised with the Orion gearbox that you get a double O-ring piston for better air seal. Now, why do I bring that up? After a while, this was shooting okay when I first got it, and I'll show you some footage of it shooting.
This is me shooting it at an indoor range, and as you can probably hear, it's got a really nice rate of fire in a level 1 LiPo. You might not be able to tell, it's got a good grouping, but yeah, things went a bit downhill after that.
After a while though, shots were going all over the place, completely schizophrenic. I took it apart and I found out that there was absolutely no air seal between the piston and the cylinder. I mean, it was just non-existent. So I tossed that one out, and I got myself from my bag of spare parts, I think it was from a combat machine, and I put the piston from a combat machine in there, and it really, really helped with the air seal. Even though it's a cheap component, it did a lot better than the stock one that came in here, so I don't know what to tell you guys. People have moaned about the 8mm bushings that are in here. Sorry, the ball bearings that the gears move on. I've never had an issue, but one thing to note, a lot of people have said that they gum up over time and that they're no good. So bear that in mind, but touch wood, hasn't happened to me yet. Another thing you want to note is when I opened up that gearbox, it was dry as a bone. My God, I've eaten crackers that had like more moisture in it than that thing. So make sure if you do open it up, put some nice grease in it, maybe some white lithium grease, something like that, just to keep it running smoothly. Other than that, the standard hop and standard barrel is okay, you know, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with it. Of course though, because it's just a standard M4 platform, you could get upgrades for this. You can get loads of upgrades for it. It's all TM compatible, so no issues there. So it makes it a really nice platform to build on. One thing you don't get as standard though is this comes with a gate Mosfet. Oh my God, a gate Titan. I said it was a gate, but I never said it was a gate Titan. I believe they call it the XASR Mosfet that comes with it, which when it works fine. I'll shoot 11-1s out of this. You get a nice rate of fire with it, fantastic. But I had an issue which makes this gun potentially very dangerous, and I'll show you a video of me in the past explaining it all. Take it away, me from the past.
I've noticed something very interesting about the Specna Arms Edge series while I'm at a shooting range. As you can see, safety's on, not touching the trigger. Now I've got a battery that I've just put into the stock, and as I try and push the wires in to try and fit it in there, Any ideas why that's happening?
Now, I'm not sure what caused that issue to this day, and it hasn't happened since, touch wood, although I don't use this gun much anymore. It's more of a, you know, nice way to round out my collection and something for me to work on to make it look the way I wanted it to look. But yeah, not saying it'll happen with all of them, but it happened with mine, and that's something that you really want to take into consideration. Be careful when playing with the wires on this. So, bit of a mixed bag, but as a platform to build on and to learn from, it's pretty good. And for the price, it's pretty amazing. I didn't buy this gun with all this stuff included, with a Mosfet included, with a full metal body included, with fairly solid internals all included. I didn't buy it for £200. I didn't buy it for £150. I didn't even buy it for £130. I got this brand new gun for £120 from Patrol Base. Now, I'm not saying you could get them that cheap now, but for the money, I am more than happy with this.